Hi, everybody, and welcome back, and thanks for starting off the Thanksgiving holiday week with us here at Your News Today, this Monday, the 23rd day of November. As far as Thanksgiving goes, forecast-wise, it's the peak of the whole forecast period. We're going to steadily climb right up to a beautiful Thanksgiving Day forecast, and then from there we'll go in the other direction, back down to some precipitation and cooler air, more indicative of really where we should be, I guess, as far as temperatures are concerned, at least. Please forgive the more than casual attire this evening. Not that it's totally unusual or out of the ordinary, but this program taped a few moments early just so I could get out right at the 6 o'clock hour in an effort to make it to Andrew's home basketball game tonight. That's not to say that I don't have a complete program for you this evening, as we will talk about those indictments that were handed down or at least released right just before airtime this past Friday. I had an inclination they were coming and just could not confirm their existence, so to speak, before airtime on Friday. It was just a few moments thereafter that I did receive an official copy of indictments charging one magistrate and 3 other individuals with vote buying here in McGoffin County. We'll go through those indictments and talk about an order today pertaining to those individuals and those charges. And what an exciting time it must be to be a Tiger or a Golden Eagle in Painesville. Both teams still continuing to knock another team off. And they're both now regional champions, and they're both still in the hunt for their respective state title. We've got a clip or two for you from at least one of the games, and we'll talk about the Run Run Rudolph 5K, and that's an all-encompassing story. We've got a Boston Marathon runner I'm so glad to tell you about in our midst here in McGoffin County, and he was one of the dozens of folks who turned out for the Run Run Rudolph 5K on Saturday. It's a great story, and it's in fact one that we're going to start off the program with. The Sagersville Hometown Christmas Committee, who is organizing, of course, the annual Christmas parade, tree lighting, and all the other events, which has now been set and is just a couple of weeks away. We're also responsible for putting together for the second time and the second annual event, the Run Run Rudolph 5K Walk Run, in an effort to raise funds and spirits in lieu of the Christmas holiday. But the bottom line is to make sure that some children have an extra special Merry Christmas, and that these folks had a lot of fun supporting that cause. There's just a whole lot of things we can talk about when we're talking about the second annual Run Run Rudolph 5K in Sagersville. I mean, first of all, obviously, there's the run, the walk, the ride, the 5K, whether they chose to bicycle, run, walk, or go at their own pace in between. They all completed the 5K. They had a kids run that also attracted a lot of our younger people. The fact that we learned about a future Boston Marathon runner from right here in McGoffin County is nothing short of awesome. And then, of course, there's the cause itself behind the whole event.
Is to raise money to help purchase toys for the children in our county. Those toys are purchased, wrapped, and they are given out 2 weeks from today on December the 5th at the City Fire Department, where Santa and Mrs. Claus will be to hand those out to any child in this county that wants to come see Santa, sit on his lap. They'll have a present for you. That's what this money is for. Every bit of the money raised goes to that. The parade is a wonderful night to come out. It starts at 4:30. They will have Santa at the cabins, and they will be giving out apple cider, which is delicious, cookies, and all kinds of other goodies.
And we mustn't forget that, of course, our Sagersville Hometown Christmas, as Michelle says, which has been set for Saturday, December the 5th, with the parade, the tree lighting, and all the fun, and a bigger-than-ever parade this year, possibly. As for the 5K, well, Kirkland Wireman, no surprise, the overall winner, 22-14 is what he finished in the 20 to 29-year-old category. Jared Bailey in the 30-year-olds, Roy Shepard in the 40-year-olds, Kenny Howard in the 50s, Gwen Reisner, and in the 60-plus club, Michael Holbrook, who you may see, as I see, running in the park on a near daily basis when I go home in the evenings or some other time, who has been running elsewhere and who is running all the way to Boston.
I started running when I was 49, and I'm 61 now. I've raced all over the county, all over the country. I raced a marathon in Lexington, Horse Park. I also run a Marshall University and run a Pressburg, East Kentucky one. It's a Boston Marathon, yeah. You've got to qualify at other races to get into it. And I qualified. I tried 4 or 5 years to qualify and finally got in. Oh, it's a wonderful. This is something I've always tried to do to get into Boston. There's very low percentage of people get in it, and you've got to qualify, like I said, at another race to even get in. Then they got to accept you, and they accept me back in September. One time a year they accept you, and that's what it was.
And if I'm as excited as I am just knowing that he is going to be there, I can't imagine how excited Michael must be. We're looking forward to following him and his next major adventure. And we hope that you'll follow everyone down to Sagersville, downtown, on the 5th.
Everything is free. This is of no expense to anyone to come out and enjoy that night. So come out and see the lights. The parade is gorgeous. We have a lot of new floats this year. We do have some ideas of what they're going to be. We have one new float that came a far distance to be in the parade. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. I've seen a few tips of what the decorations are, and I know they will absolutely make it beautiful. Along with North Magoffin's Fire Department and a few of the churches in the county will also be participating. If you want to put a float in the parade, you want to walk in the parade, you want to participate in any way, if you have a group, an organization, you want to come out, this is a wonderful time to come out and be part of this event. So come out that night and enjoy the fun with us. It is a wonderful time to be in town.
And I am. I'm literally that excited that Michael Holbrook is going to be participating in the Boston Marathon. Can't imagine the excitement that he must have. You know, it is more than just a marathon. It has become an American icon. And, of course, we, as of late, of course, have a new reason to think of the Boston Marathon. But we're not going to go there. But since 1897, the race has been in existence, expired by the success of the first modern-day marathon competition in the 1896 Summer Olympics. It's the world's oldest annual marathon and ranks as one of the world's best-known road racing events. And it's one of 6 world marathon majors. Yeah, I made some notes here earlier today. It started with just 18 runners back in 1897. Now more than 30,000 runners, including our own Michael Holbrook, will be one of those in April. And, of course, 500,000 spectators each and every year. Really is one of those awesome events and experiences, I am sure, to be able to participate or even spectate. More headlines right after this. We've been well aware, and I've mentioned it briefly over the course of several months, of an ongoing FBI and Attorney General's investigation into the November 2014 election here in Magoffin County. As we were aware of some of the investigation aspects, never really any specifics that we could relay except for the ongoing investigation, which has culminated to this point with the indictments returned this past Friday by a grand jury in London against 4 individuals, including a Magoffin County magistrate. In all, a 17-count indictment that has been levied against Magistrate Gary Rooster Reisner, who we are told is his ex-wife, Tammy Jo Reisner, as well as a Mason Daniels and a Scotty Lynn McCarty. A 17-count indictment charging conspiracy and vote buying. All 4 charged with conspiracy. In addition, that the grand jury indicted Gary Rooster Reisner on 8 charges of paying people or buying their votes in the May or November 2014 election. The grand jury charged Tammy Jo Reisner with 6 counts of paying voters before the November election. Scott McCarty was charged with 3 counts of buying votes, and Daniels with 2 counts, each carrying hefty fines and penalties. The charges carry a maximum sentence of 5 years in prison and a $250,000 fine each. All this after a months-long investigation that we are aware of. We're also unofficially aware, and I say that meaning that there has been no formal press release issued by the FBI, the AG's office, or any other entity. We've had no official contact with any of them, but speaking with individuals who have either been interviewed or something of that nature, we have ascertained that several Magoffin Countyans were subpoenaed to testify before a federal grand jury in London last Thursday. The indictments released late Friday, as far as public knowledge, after they were initially signed on Thursday. And on the heels of that, a court order has been issued today and filed. The United States has filed a motion for the 4 individuals, the Reisners, Daniels, and McCarty, to all appear in the U.S. District Court in Pikeville. They have a court date set for December the 7th at the hour of 11 a.m. That order also stipulates that each of the defendants must contact the United States Probation Office in Pikeville within 48 hours of receipt of this summons, ordering them to court on December the 7th in order to arrange an interview by the United States Probation Office for the purpose of obtaining information pertaining to the pretrial release of each defendant, which have not been jailed at this time, only served or attempted to have been served at this hour with the summons in response to requesting or mandating their attendance in federal court, once again on December the 7th. I have not made an attempt to reach out to any of the 4 individuals at this time. However, the Magoffin County Fiscal Court has a meeting, a special call meeting set for tomorrow at 5 p.m. We will make an attempt to speak with Magistrate Reisner at that time and find out more if he has anything to say in regards to these indictments. And once again, to reiterate, we've had no official press release, no official contact with any detective or member of the investigative body in any form or fashion. However, we are expecting at this time at least the possibility of further indictments to be returned by the same grand jury. A brief community calendar tonight with one announcement that I need to pass along tonight, and that is that Rumpke will be collecting your garbage this week on Thanksgiving, realizing, of course, that you're going to have a lot to throw away with a lot of cooking going on, I can well imagine. They will be running extra early on this Thursday morning. Keep that in mind, and they'll be running their regular routes and times the rest of this week, including Friday. But Thanksgiving Day, Rumpke will be running, I am told, but just extra early that morning. That's it for calendar announcements for tonight. It'll be, I'm sure, a little more full tomorrow evening. Remember, you can always get your announcements on the program. Birthdays and anniversaries, too. We'll tell everyone about them. They're all brought to you by Magoffin Farm Bureau. Our obituaries this evening are, as always, brought to you by the Magoffin County Funeral Home. 29-year-old Jennifer Marie Jenny Pooh Van Hoos of Flat Fork Road passed away on the 20th, the daughter of Victor and Camarilla Van Hoos. Besides her parents, she's survived by a son, Thomas Amix, a brother, Jeffrey Scott Van Hoos, and her fiancé, Greg Ward. Visitation is this evening, and prior to services, they'll be starting tomorrow at 1 from the Magoffin County Funeral Home. An 80-year-old Rubelee LeMaster of Gainesboro, Tennessee, passed away on the 19th, formerly of Magoffin County. She's survived by her husband, J.L. Loftus, 2 sons, and 4 daughters. Visitation is this evening, and prior to services, they'll start tomorrow morning at 11 from the Magoffin County Funeral Home. I'm sure the excitement is immeasurable in Johnson County for any football fans, because whether it is Paintsville or Central, Tiger or Golden Eagle football, everyone still has someone to cheer for. As for the Tigers, they were able to put Paris on their heels, slow them down. They jumped out to a 21-0 lead. At one time, I think, up about 34 points. Overall, a 48-28 victory. Overall, they're 13-0 and undefeated. And they're hosting, man, talk about a Friday night for football. They're hosting Pikeville this Friday night. That regional championship this past Friday night sends them to the semis. We're down from 32 teams to 4 teams in Class 1A football. Russellville and Beechwood playing at Russellville, and the other half of the Final Four, so to speak, Pikeville and Paintsville, 7:30 this Friday night in Paintsville. In all, Cash Daniel threw for 202 yards, 3 touchdowns. Darren Morris was on the receiving end of at least 2 of those, and I think Daniel also ran himself in across the line for 2 himself. Kent Phelps rushed for 130 yards. He picked up 2 touchdowns as well. It's their first trip to the state semifinals since 2001. The other half of the Johnson Central playoff action, or the Johnson County playoff action, is Johnson Central taking on Scott County. And after this run, well, let's just fast forward all the way down to when time is out. And courtesy of Todd Connolly and everyone over at JCTV, seen on Foothills on Channel 37, 7 seconds to play. Central's behind 26-21. Bryce Workman throws 30 yards to Jordan Blanton. Time runs out, and 27-26 will be your final score as Johnson Central won its first regional title since 2006. And they have, of course, a state semifinal game set for this Friday. They'll not be at home, however. They'll be traveling to Wayne County, playing Wayne County in Monticello. The Golden Eagles with that one and only loss, 11-1 after a thrilling win from. I mean, can you imagine? Imagine what that must have felt like for those kids. 27-26 over, and the fans and the parents and everyone else too. 27-26. They are at Wayne County this Friday night. So that leaves them like this, or the tournament like this. In Class 4A, down to the semifinals, you've got South Warren and Shelby County on one side of the bracket, and then you've got Wayne County and Johnson Central making up the other half. And, of course, from there, you're down to 2. And we are looking at, well, history in the making. The potential state title for Johnson County and Paintsville across the board. And trying to make it out of here for Andrew's ball game, a short and sweet forecast for you up through Valentine's Day. Where did that come from? Up through Thanksgiving. Whew. Mostly clear tonight and a low of 26. Another cold one out there. We'll see some frost early in the morning. And tomorrow, mostly sunny and 53. Wednesday, more sunshine and 58. Thanksgiving Day, we'll see 64 degrees and mostly sunny skies. Now, Friday's not all that bad. We're just going to fall back a degree to about 63 and most partly sunny. However, by Friday night, that's our next chance of some showers, and that front is going to roll around and give us maybe some not-so-nice weather for the weekend, and then some cooler temperatures all the way through next week. So enjoy it while it lasts, because we're building all the way through Thanksgiving, holding our own for a part of Friday, and then reverting back to where we don't necessarily want to go after that. And that's it for this Monday. We've still got a few more days of news left, and more news that we can squeeze into those days. So be sure and join us tomorrow for another edition of Your News Today. For now, thank you for watching. Have a warm Monday evening, and we'll see you back here next time. Good night.